Hey guys, welcome back. Nick Layton here. Today we're taking a look at 3 King's X drop D riffs you gotta know. Okay, before we get started here, I'll point you to the description box where I've got a free sweep picking guide for you guys. Sweep Picking Boot Camp is my free gift. Please check that out. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get more videos like this. Before we get going, these are all in drop D, all 3 of them. So you'll want to tune your guitars to drop D. If you don't know what drop D is, you're in standard tuning, but you take your low E string and tune it down a whole step so it sounds like D. Okay, so it should sound like this. So when you play a big D chord, you can play this open D string. Now it's a D, right? So, and just play like a D chord here. Very nice, fat sounding chord. This isn't a lesson on drop D tuning, but if you're not sure about this tuning, one of the cool things is you can play power chords with one finger. So you'll see some of that here in these riffs. But the great thing about these riffs and the King's X way of using drop D tuning wasn't really, just to be heavy. It was used in creative ways, and there's some open string droning kind of things, and just very creative use of this. So let's get started. The first one I want to take a look at is It's Love.
It's love that holds it all together. I just had to let you know that it's love that's holding back the weather, and the same will let it go.
So for It's Love, we're in the key of D here. And the first thing that happens is we're going to go. So you see, we're going from this. What's happening here is we're playing on the B, on the G and B strings, 7 and 8, and this is the fingering that Ty uses on this. And then you're going to come back to 7 and 7. On the G and B, but you're also playing the open D string at the on the 4th string here. So kind of let that drone throughout, and that's a common thing with King's X riffs. It's sort of a droning note. Sometimes it's a low string, sometimes it's a higher string like the G string or something like that really kind of drones throughout chord progressions or riffs. And in this case, we're using the D string here. So hopefully you can see that. 7 and 8, back to 7 and 7. Okay, now there's a little single note running while that D string is still droning. So in the single note, 7G, 5B, 7B, 8B, back to 7G. So here's what we have so far. I'm going to move this back 2 frets and play 5 and 5. Part of a C chord with the D still ringing. This is part of a G chord with the D still ringing. So it's kind of like a C over D, right, to the G, 4G, 3B there. So and they'll finish this off like this: 2-4-2, 2-4-2 on the G string, hammer pull, and then open G string, and 3rd fret on the B. Repeat that again. Whoops. I'm going to show you the next part too. Even though I said it's only 3 riffs, you're actually getting a couple extra ones here, because that's how we roll around these parts. All right. So when I mentioned that single string power chord, not single string power chord, 1 finger power chord idea, here's where this comes into play. Okay, this is leading into the verse, and that's just 2nd fret on the low E and the A string, 3rd fret on those 2 strings, and then pause and then do 3 and then 5, same way. Now, super cool part here, modulates to the key of A. And then the chorus, which I'm going to show you that as well. All right, so but these chords here were in the key of A, and it's I heard Ty actually explain this riff one time. He said that he was inspired by George Lynch on some of these chords, which makes perfect sense because George uses these type of chords all the time. And so you could see, you know, there in the late 80s, these guys were kind of inspiring each other. Super cool. All this is an A power chord on the 7th and 9th fret D and G. And now we're playing the open A string along with these chords. Then play 6, D, 9, G. Hear that A string still thumping. Next chord is 5D, 6G. Next chord is 5D, 7G, so a G chord here. And then 4D, 7G. So all that together. Now do the same thing again. But now we're going to go down to an F chord here right before we go into the chorus, and we just go to the 3D, 5G, still playing that A string. Okay, and here's leading into the chorus. I wanted to show you all of these riffs, 3 riffs here in one song, because all of them are fantastic. Okay, so we went from the intro to the verse riff, and now we're heading into the chorus. So that's just 3 on the low E and the A, 5 on the low E and A, and then pick 5 again, and then back to 3. Okay, and now we're into the chorus. Sounds a bit complex. It's not too bad. The timing is something you'll have to kind of play around with. Try playing along with the record and see if you can match it. So what you're doing is you're going to play 2 open E's, I'll call it a D string, which is what it is. 2 open Ds, and then a C5 chord twice, and then a G over B chord, which is 2nd fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D. So notice the D string going, chugging there, and then we're playing this cool chord here, which is 3rd fret low E, 3rd fret A, and then 5th fret on the G. Okay, so and then once you hit this, you're going to play that open D, and that's 3rd fret, back to the open G, 3, 5, 3, open. And once you get to the, then you repeat that, and you're going to the C, G over B, and then you have this tag at the end of it. 5, 5, 3. Again, these 1-finger power chords. And that's open D and A string, back to the 3rd fret. Okay, so let's put those 2 parts of the chorus together. Okay, back to the first part. Okay, cool. That's just the second. The second tag is that's 5, 4, 3 on the E and A strings, and then 3, 2, and 1. And then you're into the second verse. Okay, so here, why don't I do this? Why don't I play the whole thing for you at a kind of a slow tempo? Okay, that's It's Love. So for Black Flag, this one's really simple. This won't take us very long here. Again, we're in drop D tuning, so we're going to use this low D string, and we're just going to play this like kind of chug style with 2 open Ds. The second chord, the first chord we'll hit is 3 on the A, 3 D, and a part of an F chord. Now when you hit this is 2A, 3D. Give it some serious vibrato. So it's 2 opens, F chord, open. This is actually like part of like an F diminished. But it's kind of just gets that flat 5 in there from the F. Okay, and then we're gonna play open A, open D. So it's, and then 3rd fret, low E, and then D5, power chord. So all that together is open D string, 3rd fret on the low D, and then pull off to open, pick it. Okay, so here's what we have so far. It's the same thing again, but this time we play, and that's on the low E and E string. These 1-finger power chords again, but we're muting that, so it's 3-2 open, 3 and then open. Okay, so let's try that slow. See how that keeps repeating, right? The main riff. We'll just have that thrown in there. So one more time. Okay, again, here's where we have some drone, a drone. It's a G, open G string. But first you're going to play open D, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret A, open G. Then play 1st fret, low E or D, 3rd fret A, and then open G. See how that G kind of rings. And then you're into the verse, which is kind of a stripped back version of the riff with some other parts as well. But that's the main riff for Black Flag. That's off the self-titled record, which we're also going to look at for the next riff. So for Lost in Germany, we're playing a G5. Then we're going to lower this 7th, so it's 5D, 7G, and then 5D, 6G. And then we're going to play the single notes here. 7-6 on the G, 7D. We're going to play 5A, 7D, 5A, slide back to 4A. It's kind of like a D power chord here. So there's a little pause right here. So the timing of this is probably the trickiest part. Now, once you get to the 4th fret, sliding back from the 5th fret in the E string, you're going to grab 7, which is tuned down. We're going to drop D again. 7th fret on the low string, and then 4, A, open D, open G. And you mute these and kind of make that G string snap. And then grab the 2nd fret on the D string, which is an E note. Okay, so here's what we have. That's the first part of the riff, so you want to get that down first, I think. Okay, now once you play this D note or this E note here, you finish it by playing the tag. Started out the same, 7/6 on the G, 7D. It's exactly the same. It's just a shorter version of the first half of the riff. So 5A, 7D, back to 5A, 4, 7 low E, open, and then end it with a D5 power chord down here. So the second part is slower. It's okay, so all together now, let me play it slow. Let's go even slower than that. So that's the main riff. Super cool. Once you get it humming along, it's really fun. Okay. All right, so please go check out some King's X. If I had to pick, probably my favorite King's X album is Dogman, followed closely by Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. I love Out of the Silent Planet and the self-titled one as well, Faith, Hope, and Love. So those first 5 to me are pure gold. Some great stuff after that as well. But for me, those first 5 are the best stuff to go check out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Rock on.